From China's perspective right now, on the domestic front, things are beginning to look a little better, but on the external front, certainly both the economics and the geopolitics don't seem to be working in China's favor. I can tell you that in Washington, again, there is a very strong bipartisan view that the US administration needs to take a much stronger attitude against China. And this is unfortunate because it is coming on the back of a meeting that was supposed to take place between Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and his Chinese counterparts. That succeeded, some contact between President Biden and President Xi. So it seemed like there was going to be a bit of a cooling off, but certainly that is off the cards for now. And I think we're going to see some significant measures in terms of retaliation against what is seen as a military provocation by China against the US.
How soon might that happen?
It's hard to say. I think there are a number of measures that are going to be contemplated by the administration. The question is what is going to be most effective. What is likely is that we will see a continuation of policies that have already been placed, perhaps not a ratcheting up of trade tensions per se, but when it comes to export restrictions, especially on technology, and limitations on US investments in China, as well as the ability of Chinese companies to operate in the US. On all of those fronts, we're going to see some symbolic action, but also some fairly substantive actions, I suspect, are coming down the line.
Why only technology? How is it that US financial institutions are thriving in the region?
That's always been a difficult balance for Washington because there are commercial considerations that always pull in one direction while geopolitics might pull in the other direction. And for a long time, these tended to balance each other, Tanveer. Even many years ago, when there were concerns about whether the Chinese central bank was manipulating the currency, the administration wanted a tough line, but on the other hand, you had a number of commercial institutions that wanted to maintain a more stable relationship with China. But I think US companies are beginning to recognize that they've not got quite the market access or ability to operate freely in China that they had anticipated. So that balance has shifted and there isn't as significant a counterweight as there used to be to the geopolitics of it all. And that, I think, is going to be the driving force, especially as we start heading into election season in the US.